Yes.
I'm a bit confused here with some of the things you're saying.
That's
because,
fine.
For example, light and frequency, vibration, if you alter frequency to light, it's no longer light. It changes form.
Are you still talking about energy?
Energies, that's right.
What
so if you raise your vibration, you cannot stay in this third dimension that we're in.
Well,
you'll leave it. You'll go.
I totally agree with you. Yes,
you'll
I'm
go
looking
as soon
forward
as you raise
to
your
it.
vibration. Again, but also the earth and everything is our projection.
Yes.
So it can't be of the Creator. If the Creator is perfect,
yes,
he wouldn't. So the earth is not the Creator's doing; it's the humans doing.
Well, actually, it is a creation of perfection because the light is perfection.
Well, if it was, we wouldn't have killing and.
Well, I understand what you're saying.
And all the conflicts today.
I understand what you're saying, and that's
they wouldn't
why
exist.
The light is perfection. Darkness is imperfection. So you see, when light is perfection, darkness, that's one of the things darkness loves to do, is it tries to change that which is perfect. Okay? It starts
that's
out
what
with good intentions.
Ego changes.
Yeah, well, ego is a tool of darkness.
The darknesses exist purely so we can see the light, because without darkness you're not going to see the opposite.
Exactly, and that's why it exists.
And,
but it can be allowed to build. It can be allowed to build significant, like it has in our world, and it has, for centuries.
So if I'm invoking the light, then I don't need to worry about forgiveness or unconditional love, or
it all become a natural,
or having a choice of being in harmony with the universal laws. Then, so light overrides that.
You will just be all those things. You will embody them all.
Okay, so we just by invoking light, we've shortcut all the other stuff.
Absolutely. I believe it's come at a time when we need to accelerate. We need to advance ourselves as humans, as human beings. And as long as there's darkness prevailing in the world, there are going to be things like fear and conflict. As I said earlier, the light transmutes. There's alchemy taking place when the light is present in this way, in this powerful way. It transmutes energy to light. So what happens is, wherever conflict exists, invoke the light, the conflict gives way to harmony.
But if we don't understand the problem, my question is, if we don't understand the problem, how do we know the solution?
There's no need to understand anything. If we see darkness, the evidence of the influence of darkness, which is in the form of fears, conflicts, disharmony, whatever it may be, it can be something as simple as, I'll give you an example. I walked in to have my keys cut when I was in Canada at one time, and I was waiting in the queue to be served. And there was quite a long queue because the people, the gentleman who ran the shop and a lady were arguing. They weren't coming together at all on this. They were having an argument. So I just went ahead and just kept invoking the light on the situation, everything concerned. Just kept invoking the light, and within a couple of minutes, they actually started communicating, and they actually came to an agreement. And I was glad, because then everybody got served. But you see how it happens. If you see it happening, invoke the light. You don't even need to confront anyone. You don't need to do that. Just invoke the light. And whatever's eliciting the difficulty, whatever's eliciting the conflict, the disagreement, whatever it may be, dissolves.
Yeah, what you're saying there...
Could we see if other people want to ask a question? Because there shouldn't be dialogue. You can come back if you've got another question, Nicholas.
This is not a question.
Yes.
This is a statement.
Yes.
We try in vain to explicate what is going on in life. It's our vanity. And therefore, the Catholics have a good saying, vanitas vanitatum, omnia vanitas. Vain, vain. All is in vain. Because what we're trying to do through our personality, we are customized whatever we experience. That means we are converting it. It is not direct anymore if it's verbalized, right? It becomes personalized. And this verbalization and concept turns itself out in beliefs. And there is where we get stuck and we get entangled in this wave. The Indians, they got a very nice symbolism there. The fly, the honey. And it's trying to extricate itself from the honey to get out of it. And gets into deeper and deeper. And this is what we're doing in our vain glory.
Well, what we do, and all we need to do, if we find ourselves in situations where we're struggling, in situations where we're confused, in any such situation as you've described, invoke the light, dissolves whatever's eliciting the confusion, whatever's eliciting the struggle, whatever's eliciting the difficulty. But it is a process. It's a process that can take on average 18 months or more, depending on where you're at spiritually, depending on how much is going on in your life. But it is a systematic dissolving of all the influence of darkness throughout one's life. And it's instant. Every time we recite it, it's instant, and it happens instantly.
It was a statement only.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it.
Hi. Can you tell us the words that you use in your invocation, please?
Well, I was kind of hoping that you guys would buy the book to get it. I know it sounds like a terrible sales thing, but I've intuited that it's important to read the book cover to cover to imbibe all of the foundational light truths and then begin reciting the invocation. So you're most welcome to have a look at the book. It's here if you'd like to have a look at the invocation. I'm happy to do it with. Would you all like to recite the invocation with me? Yes. Okay. And if you can, support my humble little mission by getting the book, I'd be most grateful. There are copies available in the bookstore. Thank you very much. And let us say it together then. 3 times. How does that sound? Okay. I invoke God's grace, which fills me with light. Light dissolves all darkness. I invoke God's grace, which fills me with light. Light dissolves all darkness. I invoke God's grace, which fills me with light. Light dissolves all darkness.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is there any similarities with yourself or connections with Elizabeth Clare Prophet?
No, I haven't actually heard.
You've never heard of it?
No, it's interesting. Yeah.
Sorry, a number of years ago, she was doing very similar things.
Oh, really? Okay.
And was over here and had an ashram, and they started up a university in America.
Oh, God, I'd love to do that.
And then things went slightly downhill a little bit with getting involved in politics and other different things.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're
I think it's a little sticky. Well, if we can invoke the light on our governments, it will be a little less greed-based and a little more benevolent. It seems like greed sort of tends to dominate, motivate, be the underlying driving factor. That and the need for power. But in the light, we don't need that. We don't even need politics. In the light, we don't even need politics.
Yes, so clarification, the organisation was the Church Universal and Triumphant.
Sounds beautiful.
Elizabeth Clare Prophet. But Elizabeth Clare Prophet was preceded by somebody by the name of Bellard, who were doing the same thing, and even further gone back into the late 1900s. There was a chap, I'm reading his book, can't remember his name at the minute, but I'm enjoying his book. Anyway, unfortunately, that does, when one becomes a guru, there does seem to be a tendency to, and she was a guru, to enter into politics.
Yes, that's just don't want to go there. No. Just invoke the light. That's all you need to do. I don't consider myself any. I mean, I know I've had some amazingly profound experiences, and I've seen some amazing beings and had amazing visions and these light truths that I felt compelled to let others know about and share them because they're just so profound. I know I've had a profound spiritual experience, but I don't consider myself to be any kind of guru. I'm really a messenger. That's really what I consider myself to be more than anything.
Nicholas, did you have another question? Nicholas, did you have another question? No, right.
I was just wondering if you're going to be around afterwards to do book signings.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. I can hang out a little while. We can chat. It's fine. I think that they have to close the hall, though, don't you guys?
We do, and I'll help the lecturer pack up and get things going, so you can certainly talk outside here. Yeah, there's seats out there and everything. Yeah, we get the cleaners in later, and the library's still open, the bookshop's still open, so we got to keep moving a bit on a Saturday. Cool. I think there's a gentleman down there.
Just your prayer about the invocation repeated 3 times.
Yeah.
Sometimes when there's this experience from our churches that people pray and though they don't mean it. Now, what I try to say that because God doesn't understand, the book of Course in Miracles says clearly that God doesn't understand our words with our mouth because He didn't create our bodies, He created our minds. So, is it possible to, instead of words, to just use our strong will and desire to really to be impregnated by the divine light instead of words?
Well, it's more words are really a vehicle. It's a tool. It's not so much the words; it's the power that's been bestowed every time you recite it. It is just a vehicle, a way to pierce the darkness, a way to allow the light to enter our soul and nourish it at the highest level. And it helps to have a practical tool, and that's why the words are there. But it's more than just the words; it's the power behind the words that makes it so life-transforming.
Okay, if there's no further questions, could we give the speaker a round of applause, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And those persons wishing to discuss anything with the speaker, by all means, she's a very appeasing, obliging woman, so you're quite welcome.
Yes, thank you.
And I'll just help pack up things. Have a safe trip home, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir. Thank you.